Now, why don't they gamble on local startups? Or do they? Anyone can take the question.
They do. They put in money in startups, right? I mean, the question is like gambling, right? Like nobody, like that's the problem. They don't gamble on startups. They want to see cash flow. You know, most of the startups I mean in the Philippines are, I guess, like still, you know, I mean the funny thing about the Philippines is it's a market um, that just generates so much momentum. Like once you get that initial push and wave, and you're able to maintain and sustain that wave, it's smooth sailing from there. But it's always the first wave. If you know how to surf, like if you love surfing, or maybe you don't, but like the first wave is like the hard wave, one of the hardest waves to catch. So maybe you'll end up like on the third or fourth wave, but once you get it, and I think that's where most entrepreneurs need help with. Once you get it, it's there. It's so big. Like it's the whole city. So Manila alone, 20 million people. That's California, right? Like that's the dream. It's big as California.
Anybody else?
So for us, so Sterling is one of the bigger companies in the Philippines. The thing is, they actually have an e-commerce site that's been running for quite a while, but wasn't really producing much. How I see it is that they want to get into the game of tech, but they have no experience in it. So I think that's that attitude or that kind of situation is also the same for all the other big companies in the Philippines.
Of course, the Sterling Group is not just in the business of paper, but in agriculture as well. They're a big player.
Correct. And these are businesses that they're very, very familiar in.
Legacy business. A quick question. For startups who work with the big boys, is there fear that when I work with you, one day you learn my trade secret and set up your own and eat me? Is there that fear? Because I have heard that from some who have started businesses working with the big guys.
I mean, we work with SM and everyone. Like we're now working with SM, right? So that's the pinnacle. When I was in that's the pinnacle of like, I guess like retail in the Philippines. And you might think that there's a fear, but when you actually work with them, you'll realize that the emperor has no clothes. Right? Like I mean, you know, everybody's probably the same level as you, right? They're figuring it out, you're figuring it out, who's gonna work harder? And I think it boils down to that. And sometimes, you know, I mean, money helps in solving a lot of problems, but sometimes, you know, leadership is also equally important. And I think that's where distinctions and differences exist.
I think you'll be fearful if your product is not walang laman. That's the only time you should be fearful. Pero kung may laman yung product mo or what you're doing, meaning you're not trying to sell air, you're just not trying to hustle, be pro air, then you shouldn't be fearful.
But I guess from Mike and Brian, it's very easy not to be afraid because your companies are big companies. I mean, Lazada is a Jack Ma investment.
I don't think so, because like, it's not like we ended up working with SM on day one, right? It wasn't, I mean, like, in fact, there was a clear, I guess I could say like, every organization should think of like their anti-X, like X being the large elephant in the room strategy, right? I mean, it's a process of elimination, but like ultimately you'll realize that in order for you to get the big fish to work with you, you have to make sure that maybe there's a way for you to sustain your revenue model before that happens.
Right. Anybody else?
One last. So to your question,
Yeah.
I wasn't fearful for SM. I wasn't fearful of taxi was MGE or Basic developing their own app. And they tried. But then, walang laman yung app nila. So,
But as I mentioned, for example, Grab, you have China's Didi Chuxing and Japan's SoftBank, which are big companies with very deep pockets.
now, when we started, it was against the big
So you-
taxi companies of the Philippines that we were up against.
Okay. Terrence, what about you? Because you're doing the rewards program. Are you worried that somewhere down the road, I mean, SM already has its reward, its loyalty program, that you're going to be coming up against the SMs who carry or bring in the brands? And I mean, it's a battle of how big your network is.
Yeah, so like what Brian said, no, we're very confident in our abilities. Like we have an idea of how their backend system runs, and with complete confidence, we can say that ours are years better than theirs in terms of how we gather the data, how we structure it, how we can spot certain patterns. So one of the things that we're starting to see now is we can see consumer patterns with the little transactions that we have, and it's over 1 million transactions in the past couple of months. So there's a big case on automate. When patterns emerge, there's a case for machine learning, and you can really automate these patterns that you see with artificial intelligence. So it's a different conversation to have, and their focus is on the retail front, right? So it's really different. But to answer your question, the first question, in terms of working with big companies, why don't big companies gamble on startups? My perspective is a lot do, and it's not usually in the form of investments. It's usually in the form of commercial agreements. So we have Globe set up a venture arm, Kickstart. They invested in us first, but traditionally we try to work with Globe. We try to see how we can help them with certain things, come up with commercial partnerships. Then when they see that you're strategic, then investment can come, and it's up to you whether or not to take the investment.
So basically, you become part of their supply chain.
Yes, you can say that somehow.
Okay. We have the next question. This is for Brian from the audience. Do you have any comments on the Gojek acquisition of coins.ph?
Let them come. No, I think we're launching GrabPay very soon. Payment, unlike transport. Transport was always the way we saw it was a winner-take-all game. But payments, it's a bigger market. There's a longer tail of users. So we welcome competition, and we're customer focused now, not competition focused. So as long as we can keep building products that we know our users will love, then whoever comes into the market will need to compete with that and not and try to build better products, which just boosts adoption